Hello everybody, welcome back to another DCP video. In this one we're going to be doing my bucket list while we sit outside and enjoy the fresh air. For the first time in like 3 weeks, there is not a cloud in the sky. It's been rainy in my hometown for like the last month, almost every day. So today is supposed to be a really beautiful day, so I figured I would come outside and film this video, but I have my water bottle ready to go because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking in this video, so we're gonna go ahead and get right on into it. I tried to section this out as much as I could, so we're gonna try and just go through it. Hopefully it makes a little bit of sense and it's not just a bunch of random bulleted points, but I feel like it might end up being random bullet points anyway. So the first thing we have on here are a bunch of challenges. So I want to do the 4 parks 1 day challenge, which is where you basically go to every park. I think you have to at least ride 1 ride and get 1 snack at every park for it to count. So we're gonna try and do that at least once. I also want to try and drink around the world if I can. So I have it as like mocktail edition because I am very much a lightweight. Like a couple sips gets me a little bit weird in the head, so I'm not going to be drinking a whole lot of alcohol there. I'm gonna try and see if I can do it as far as like mocktails go so that I don't have a whole bunch of alcohol in my system because I'm scared of what that'll do to me. But I want to try and at least drink around the world in some fashion, whether it's just getting a random lemonade or what. But worst case scenario, I split the drink with a couple of friends so that hopefully I'm not drinking literally 12 drinks. The next one is to rope drop a ride. I feel like that's going to be pretty self-explanatory. I think that's going to happen a lot. I also want to be the last person on a ride, so hopping into the line right as the park is closing and hoping that they let us in. Usually that happens where you hop into the line at like 5 minutes until closing, and then they just run the whole line through up until however many people are out, and then you can enjoy the park as you walk out to yourself. So I want to try that. I also want to attend almost every festival at Epcot other than Flower and Garden because I'm not going to be there during Flower and Garden Festival, but I want to also do the scavenger hunts. I basically want to do like the passports as well as the extra scavenger hunts if I can. So we're going to try and do all of that. We're going to see if it works. Hopefully I can get a couple friends to do it with me, and it'll be fun for vlogging as well. I also want to visit all of the resorts. I've stayed at a bunch of them, but I want to visit them all while I'm down there at least once. So hopefully we'll end up getting to do that. I want to take some time and really explore the resorts because I have the time, and usually I wouldn't if it was like a week-long vacation. So I want to try and enjoy a little bit of time at every resort if I can. I also want to get every Guardians of the Galaxy song, including the overlays. So all 6 songs plus the holiday overlay, I would love to get at least once during my trip there. We're gonna try and do it. We'll see what happens. That was my #1 thing on my bucket list when I did my DCP tag, which I'll have up in the cards and the description if you guys want to watch that. But that was my #1 thing on the list, and hopefully we can get that done. The last challenge, it's not really an official challenge, but I want to visit every cast accessible pool at the resorts. So sometimes the resorts will make you get a wristband or prove that you're staying at the resort to use the pool, but sometimes cast members can just get in because they're a cast member. So I want to try that at least a couple times and kind of see how it works. I'm going to try and videotape this as fast as I can because my camera battery is dying rapidly. So, like you saw, my camera battery did in fact die, so I had to come inside and wait a couple hours for both of my batteries because I changed my battery and then that one was also dead. So we're inside. I am in my cozy little hoodie because my room is freezing usually, so that's why we are in a change of scenery. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull my iPad back up and we're gonna talk more about my bucket list because, like I said, there's gonna be a lot of things on here. So the next thing on my bucket list is to get the ears that you get whenever you're doing traditions. You usually get like a ear hat. I want to get them customized. I don't know if you can embroider them or get them like written on or both, but I want to do something with them to kind of commemorate it a little bit more. I also want to do a backstage tour. I don't really like the Tower of Terror backstage tours, but if there's something else other than that, I would love to try and do that and see what it's like because the rides just fascinate me. So I would love to do at least 1 backstage tour, if not 2. I also want to try and do sunrise yoga. I know that's a thing because I follow a bunch of people on Instagram and YouTube and things like that have done it before. You have to wake up at the literal crack of dawn, if not earlier, and do the yoga right before like 7 a.m. It's gonna be an early day if I ever end up doing that, but I would love to try it. I would love to also earn a degree. I know you can do seminars and like month-long or month-and-a-half long classes, and I want to earn some sort of certificate. So whenever you do these types of seminars for multiple weeks at a time and you finish the course, they call it a course, but it's really only like 6 weeks. If you finish the entire thing, you get what's called either a Goofy graduate or a Daisy degree or a Mousters or a doctorate. You can get that too. It just kind of depends depends on how many seminars you've been to, but I would love to earn a degree during my time there at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna earn like top degree, but I would love to at least have something. I also want to do some kind of cast preview. I know that I won't be able to do a cast preview for a ride, which makes me so sad. I feel like they've done rides and like new openings and new beginnings of things for like the last 2 years, and now that I'm going down there, they're not really changing a whole lot, or at least nothing's going to be opening by the time I'm down there. But I do know that there are going to be a couple movies coming out, like the second Moana movie. I would love to go see that as the cast preview before the movie actually comes out into theaters, so that would be really fun. I would love to do that. I also want to do a staycation. I've stayed in a couple of these resorts just like with my family and things like that, but I would love to do a staycation, either just me or me and a couple of my friends, and just kind of hang out at the resort instead of worrying about like getting to the park in the day, because I'm obviously going to be living there for an extended period of time, and so I want to truly enjoy the resort. I know that goes back to visiting all the resorts, but I would love to do an actual staycation and stay there for like a night or two. I don't really know what resort I would love to stay at most. I would love to do something like the Polynesian or the Grand Floridian, but those are very expensive even for cast members. So no matter where it is, I think it's going to be a fun time. I just want it to be something that I have never stayed in before. So I've stayed in a couple of them. I've stayed in Beach Club, I've stayed in the Boardwalk, I've stayed at the Contemporary and Bay Lake, both of those. I've also stayed in the French Quarter, Port Orleans, although I don't really remember that a whole lot. I've stayed in Old Key West countless times. I'm going to be in Saratoga Springs when I'm with my family before I move in. So I've been to a lot of them. I just would love to stay in at least a couple more that I haven't stayed in before. I also want to do the Animation Academy in Animal Kingdom. I haven't done the Animation Academy since they took it out of Hollywood Studios when they were doing Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and because of that, I've not done an animation drawing class in years, like since 2018 or whenever it was that Galaxy's Edge opened. I have not done the Animation Academy since, and I would love to do it again, so we're gonna try and do that at least a couple times while I'm there. I also want to go to Trader Sam's. I know I talked earlier that I don't really enjoy the taste or the feeling of alcohol, but I know that Trader Sam's has a ton of really cool mocktails, and I would love to do that with a couple of my friends. One of my friends and my roommate, same person, wants to take me to Trader Sam's because she loves it and she thinks that I would like it too, because we both kind of have the same mentality when it comes to alcohol. Like, we're both very much lightweights, so she can enjoy herself there, which means that I can probably enjoy myself there too. I also want to do both Mickey's Not So Scary as well as the Very Merry Christmas parties. I have never been to either of them before that I can remember, at least, and so I would love to do that at least once. I'm hoping that maybe I'll be able to get a work a shift. I'm not gonna say what my role is other than that, but I would love to work at one or both of them at some point. I also would love to celebrate New Year's Eve at the parks. I've never been to the parks pretty much from October to February. Like, that's the time frame that I've never been before, and that's when all of this is going on. So another thing that I would love to do is celebrate New Year's Eve at the parks in some way. So whether that's going to see the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, I don't really think I want to do Epcot just because I've heard that gets really rowdy, and especially because it's a park where they serve alcohol, and it sounds like it's gonna be kind of chaotic and intense, and I don't want to do that. So I think I'm either going to go to Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios for that day, but I think that's gonna be really fun either way. I also see a lot of solo Disney days in our future. I feel like I'm going to be going to the parks a lot by myself because I've never done it before, and I think it would be a lot of fun. So that's on this list, but I pretty much know for a fact that it's gonna happen. I also want to watch a movie at the Boardwalk on the grass. They have this grassy area in front of the hotel on the Boardwalk, and they do a screening of a movie. They give you like picnic blankets and snacks. It's a whole vibe, and I would absolutely love to take part in that. There are a couple excursions that I want to go on to that don't involve Disney or being in the Disney bubble, and one of them is going to Universal, obviously. If you're in the Disney bubble and you want to get out of it, Universal is probably your best bet, and my friend and my roommate, again, same person, are going to try and be an annual pass holder, so maybe I'll be able to swing a couple Universal trips with her. I also want to go to Cocoa Beach. I know they do a lot of excursions with Flamingo Crossings, but my roommate is going to have a car, so we can go to the beach whenever we want, and I think it would be a lot of fun to go to the beach at least a couple times. The last couple things, not really a couple things, but the last handful of things, I should say, are things that I want to either buy or they require buying something like an experience of some sort. It makes more sense once I tell you. So the first thing that I want to do is make my own candle at Beau's Signature Candle Company. I think it's at Disney Springs. I saw people making their own candles from scratch, and that looks so fun. You get to pick the scent, you get to pick the color, you get to paint the glass. I think that would be so much fun, so I would love to do that as long as I'm like allowed to, as far as what Flamingo Crossings lets me do, as well as how much room I have, because I'm obviously flying down to Florida. I'm not taking a car, so I want to be able to have room to take my things back. So that might be something that I do later on my program, just to kind of gauge how much room I have to pack. Another thing that I want to do, there's a shop in either Magic Kingdom or Disney Springs, and I don't really know which one it is. Let me know in the comments if you guys know what it is, but it's the Arribas Brothers. They do this crystal water bottle thing that you can buy. So you buy the water bottle and then you can pick the colors of crystals that go inside the bottom of it to make it colored. So I think that's pretty cool. They look really fun. I'll pop a picture or a screen recording here of what they look like and how it works. I would love to do that. I think that would be so fun. Plus, having a commemorative water bottle is just iconic, so I would love to do that. I told you that I was going to be talking a lot in this video and my voice is feeling it, so we're gonna try and wrap this up kind of quickly. The last handful of things are things that I want to either buy or get. They are very small things, but like things to kind of still check off the box. So the first thing, get a DCP button. I want to get the button that says I'm celebrating, and then I can get it customized to say my DCP or my Disney College program, something like that. I want to get that done. That's probably gonna be the very first thing that I do when I get down there. I know that they give you one at Traditions and check-in and stuff, but I want one that's like personal to me. Along with buttons, I want to get myself a birthday button because I am going to be spending my 23rd birthday in Florida. It's gonna be just barely in Florida, but it'll be in Florida. So I want to get myself a birthday button to commemorate that as well. A couple things that I want to buy to eat. I want to get churros. I don't know where exactly the best churros are, so if you guys know, drop them in the comments so that I can go and try them out. I also want to get the Main Street popcorn, the stuff that's all over the internet these days. I would love to try at least one bowl of that. It would be like a fun little snack. I also want to get the French Quarter beignets because I haven't had them in literal years and I am having withdrawals. Other things that I want to buy that are just like souvenir type things. I want to get at least one pair of ears because I don't really wear the park ears. Wow, the sun is doing stuff, so I'm gonna move you over a little bit. It's currently basically sunset, so the sun is gonna start to move pretty fast. I'm gonna try and wrap this up, but I want to buy at least one pair of ears. I haven't bought a pair of ears at the Disney parks since they started making the ears for adults instead of kids. I've been making my own ears, so I have a video that's either up or going to be up soon of Disney crafting, like making my own Disney crafts and things for both my room, my roommates, just me, and my ears are going to be part of that. So if you want to watch that video, if it's not already up, definitely subscribe so you can see that when it goes up. But I would love to have at least one pair of ears from the parks. I also want to get at least one Loungefly because if you have a 20 to 30% discount at a store, now is the time to get a Loungefly because they're expensive. I have 2 of them and I love them to death, but I'm having the itch to get another one, especially the candy corn one for Halloween. It's so pretty, you guys. I don't really like all of the stuff on it. I like mine pretty simple, pretty plain, and that one is gorgeous. I love it so much, so that might be my first purchase. We'll just have to kind of figure it out, but I have a couple Loungeflies that I'm eyeing for sure, and I'm gonna try my best to not buy them all, but I'm not making any promises. I also want to get as many Tervis cups from the resorts as I can. I have a Riviera one. I'll try and pop up a picture here of what it looks like. It's really, really cute. I use it for like my liquid IVs and stuff like that. I'll probably be using it at work, and I almost said at school. I'm not in school anymore. I'll probably use it at home all the time, and so I want to get more of those because I love them so much. They're Tervises, they're Disney. I also just want to get something from like the resort collections whenever I can. The Old Key West and the Beach Club Loungeflies and ears, so cute. I would love to get all of them, but I'm gonna try my best to save my money and not come out on the deep end instead of coming out with money saved if possible. The last thing that I want to do is something from Basin because I love going into Basin just to like smell everything and wash my hands and stuff. I love fragrance. I used to actually, this YouTube channel used to be all about Bath & Body Works. The fact that Disney has their own fragrances, I feel like it's meant to be, so I feel like at some point in time I'm gonna need to get soap anyway, so why not make it from Basin? And that is the very extensive list. It's probably not even finalized at this point. I might think of more things down the road, but these are the things that are on my list as of right now. Hopefully we'll be able to cross off at least the majority of these things. We'll just have to find out and figure it out, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this very long-winded video. If you like this video, please leave a like. I would really appreciate it, and subscribe down below for more from me because I have a lot of Disney content coming your way very soon. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.